Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is Chris.
And this is Karen.
And this is Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, we're coming to you from about how many thousand feet up?
I don't know, several thousand.
And it's really loud. And if anybody knows me, I am so scared of being in a helicopter.
Anyway, we are flying above a mall in a city right now and just looking at all the crazy people.
Oh God, there are so many and we're pretty crazy for being in a helicopter, but we're going to be coming in for a landing soon, and it'll be a lot easier to talk in just a few minutes.
So here we go.
We're
going down.
Oh God. All right.
I don't like height either. Anyway, in case you guys don't know, the things we don't talk about are sports, politics, religion, and finances.
And we do talk about sex.
Yes, and other things that make you uncomfortable a little bit, hopefully. Make us uncomfortable.
Yeah, we get uncomfortable too, but it's fun to talk about it anyhow.
It is. And since we're going to kind of talk about holiday madness and things that bother us and make us uncomfortable about the holidays, I want to stress again, this isn't about religion at all.
No.
It's about the
there's
holidays
nothing
in
religious
general.
about bringing a tree in from the outside that you cut.
Right.
And wrapping it in lights.
Right.
And then throwing it away afterwards.
Oh, I know. That drives me freaking crazy.
I know.
If you're going to do that, I love the idea of a live tree.
Yeah. And then planting it afterwards.
I know. And that's really a good example if you have little kids too, I think,
Or the plastic Christmas tree.
My favorite tree, I think we might still have it, is a black aluminum tree. Really, I love it.
We had years ago when my kids were young and everything. We lived in California, and we kept our Christmas tree up until Easter. So I would hide the eggs in the tree, and then the cat would get in there, then it would drop the balls, and then it would limp around the house because it broke the balls from. Oh, it was crazy.
That's great. That's a good one. The things that bother me most, I'm gonna just kind of rant here a little bit, I think, is the major waste.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
That people feel like they have to buy stuff, and then it all goes
at a certain time.
At a certain time, yeah. I'd rather, if I see something for somebody that reminds me of somebody during the year, just buy it for them and give it to them, instead of feeling like you have to, and then it just goes into the land.
I know, it's a terrible custom, or whatever you want to call it. It is really weird. And when my kids were young, it was fun, and we get them a lot of coloring books and stuff like that. And I still feel, and I have some grandkids.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids. But, man, everything, I just went to the store yesterday.
I know.
And everything is out there, and everybody feels like, oh, this is the time to go buy all this stuff.
Right.
And it's really just stuff.
It's just stuff. And people are already crazy. I was in Eugene on Monday. And for those of you who don't know, Eugene's not a huge city. It's probably 100,000 people, maybe.
I heard that it's more like 250,000, but when you drive in, it says 150,000.
Okay, but it's not like, San Francisco or Portland or anyway. I'm in the grocery store parking lot, not even in where there's a mall or shopping, and people are driving around. I almost got hit twice. And you can see that, they're not even like paying attention to where they're going. It's just like, oh, I got to get here and I got to get there and I got to do this. And they get all stressed out. And I don't get it. The holidays to me should be about enjoying each other.
Right. Eating,
drinking, stuff like that. Not
family and
not
friends.
Consumerism. It's like this disease.
It is. It is really a disease, and it's one that as a in the United States, it's so ingrained. It's like I've had a chance to kind of sit back and look at it because I don't have my kids around.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody around, so I can do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting that right after Thanksgiving it all balls out.
Yeah.
And everybody can go shopping. It's now shopping is on.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
What's the other one? Cyber Monday.
Yeah, that's the new one, Cyber Monday.
Oh my God. I thought it was actually really cool that a couple of stores, I can't remember, I think it was Nordstrom's and I can't remember what the other store was, that actually were closed Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
Yeah, they had in the past been open on Thanksgiving and they wanted to give there was 2 or 3 stores. I wish I could remember the other 2, but they wanted their employees to,
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a unique idea.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then people get into debt.
Yeah.
For the whole year to buy their stuff for either their kids or their whoever,
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like they're programmed. They feel they're brainwashed that I have to buy this and my kids have to have all of this and I have to give my partner this and I have to make sure that the people I work with that I give them this and because then I'll look bad and I have to.
What, you don't celebrate the holidays?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't. I celebrate breathing.
Yeah.
I celebrate that my body's working great, and I celebrate the wonderful land I get to live on and my incredible friends.
Yeah.
And that is a moment-to-moment celebration.
That's funny because I don't know how long ago, a year or 2 ago, someone said something about, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? And I said, I don't do Thanksgiving. I said, I give thanks every day. I don't just wait till once it's just being my normal, sarcastic, stupid self. I don't do it just once a year. I do it every day. And the person was like, you don't do Thanksgiving? They missed the whole...
Yeah, they didn't hear the rest of it.
Point, you don't have to do it just, once a year. You can do it every day.
Oh, and I don't eat turkey either.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I bring the turkey to the table and he eats a little bit of seed or whatever, but he poops on the seat. So I
that's
stopped
not
doing
good.
that. Yeah.
No, those damn turkeys.
Oh, off topic.
Okay.
I was driving to be with my daughter, and I'm on the 5, and I see off in the distance there's this beautiful, really bright yellow-green pasture of grass. And I see a white head. And as I get closer, I look, and there are 2 eagles laying in the grass.
You're kidding.
Just hanging out.
We're not turkeys.
we can be here.
Lay any place we want.
Nobody's going to shoot us.
Yay.
It was really cool.
Another thing I dislike with the holidays is not so much now, but when I was younger, because people die and your families kind of drift off and stuff. But we used to all get together for like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, and so sometimes there'd be like 30 people at the table. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. And
you could be at the other end of the table, and in my family, nothing is private or sacred. And they'd go, hey, what's his face that you came with last year, what's up with that, or stuff that you don't want to talk about. Absolutely, that's very private, would be brought up in front of maybe your cousins that you only see once a year. Or a friend of a friend who had no place to go, so one of your family members was kind enough to invite them.
Yeah.
And then it would get real quiet and everybody would wait
and
for your
response
answer.
Should be, oh, I killed him.
I used to hate that. But I'd get all, I'm not talking about that. Did your family ever do stuff like that?
Oh,
Oh my.
no.
There's no privacy. There wasn't any privacy. It was horrible.
My family did other things, but
hated that. That's not fun. That is totally not fun. It's just the whole holiday thing. I mean, I enjoy many aspects of the holidays, but not that stuff.
I loved getting together with my family.
Yeah.
And it was really fun, and they were funny and a little nutty, and I was glad when it was over. You know, it was like I was so full when I used to eat pork turkeys. I'm sorry. I used to eat
And pigs, hams.
I never ate a lot of ham.
No, I didn't either, but once in a while I'd eat it, yeah.
It was weird when I went to Thanksgiving. It was people I didn't even know. It was all their family, and they had this like ham, and it was round. It looked like a basketball, like you could bounce it. And they're cutting into it, and I'm like, ew! And I brought all my own food,
Of course.
because I don't eat any of that stuff. I made a lentil loaf,
Nice.
and I made 2 vegan cheesecakes. Nobody touched any of it.
Yeah.
No
Well,
one
you know
even
what's
touched
funny?
it.
If you don't did you tell them it was vegan?
Well, they could tell.
I don't know. I've learned this. This is my family, that I still get ragged about not eating meat, and it's been way over 25 years. And I've also observed that they forget, and they think that chicken is a vegetable too. Oh, here, have some chicken then.
You don't eat meat?
Yeah, but if I put something down, like a lasagna or a potato dish or a pie or whatever, and don't say that it's vegan or even vegetarian, they'll eat it and they'll go, wow, this is really good. This is really good.
Yeah.
But if you say it is, then it's not going to get touched.
No, it's true. I
It's
remember one
weird.
time my mom, if you mentioned the word tofu, she went, oh, that's so disgusting. I don't think she'd ever tasted it before.
Right.
And one time I made something and I decided I'm not going to tell her. And she went, this is really good. And I'm like,
I know.
I'm not
I know.
saying
It's a
anything.
psychological thing.
It is.
It really is. And so my other rant on this is, I think the whole thing is it's just a big con. The whole thing is a big con. It's a big con by the stores to get you to buy more. It has nothing to do with spirituality or I'm not saying for everybody, I'm saying the general public. They're just sucked into this hypocritical brainwashing.
A lot of it, I really feel, you and I don't have television. We have a television in our house.
That's our movie screen.
It's our movie screen, but we don't watch television. And when I'm around, when I go to somebody's house who has a television on, I'm like, my eyes are like...
Because of the commercials?
Yeah. It's very mesmerizing. And I believe that people get, hypnotized by that. And there's a certain wanting to be amongst everybody else doing the same thing.
Right.
Mentality.
Right.
Instead of create your own
holiday,
your
tradition.
Own thank you to life and your family and friends, and make it in March, or make it in July or whatever.
Yeah.
But that it's not according to the latest commercial.
No, we got to the point in my family, since I live out of state, I was always the one that had to fly to California to them. And I did for 15 years. Wow. And it was really a drag. Sometimes I drove through the snow or the Siskiyous or whatever.
Oh, that's hard.
But most of the time I flew. And they didn't get that I would get stuck, whether it was the Seattle airport or Portland airport or wherever. Sometimes the plane is late, whatever happens, there's no place to sit. You have to sit on the floor because the airport is crammed with people who have missed flights because of weather. So I'd get there like hours late. You know, it was really a drag. And then it wasn't really my holiday, it was their holiday. So years ago I said, we're not going to do this anymore. I love being with all of you guys. You know, and I miss seeing you, but let's do it in January or February. So that's what we started doing, is like, you know, I'd come down and our immediate family would all get together and we'd have a big dinner.
And that's fun.
And it was fun, and that's what it was about, you know.
And they get to extend it.
Yeah.
You know, for those who really enjoy that.
I mean,
they get to have it, and then they get to have it again when you come down.
And I used to feel so bad. I mean, I was just flying like 1 or 2 states. I thought, what about these people that, like, you know, I had friends that flew to the East Coast. They flew to Florida to be with, or New York. And I thought, oh my God. And then, you know, you get stuck like in Chicago for, you know, 12 hours or...
That's horrible.
Horrible. By the time you get to wherever you're going, you are so stressed out.
Yeah, and you're ready to go back.
Yeah. All I wanted was, give me the bottle of wine. I don't care about the food. You know, I'm like over this. Oh my God. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible.
Yeah, and I don't like to fly anyhow, so you're not going to see me on a flight to go celebrate a holiday I don't believe in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the whole Christmas thing anymore is about as fake as the Easter Bunny is fake. You know, I mean, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, for kids, I feel bad if, like you were talking about the TV thing. So they're, you know, if they watch TV, and most kids do for at least an hour or so a day, they're seeing the same commercials over and over and over and over. And it's like, I want this, I want this. Of course they do, you know? It's just crazy.
That is hypnotizing.
Yeah. I used to have, a million years ago, my ex-in-laws.
You look great, by the way, for being a million years old.
Thank you. It's my hormones. My sister-in-law, who was very weird, used to tell her 2 children at Christmas, make a list of what you want for Christmas. And I am not lying. They would make a list like this, and she would get them every single thing on the list. Yeah. And those kids would just like open the box, throw whatever it was, open the next box, open the next box, open the next box.
Yeah,
and
there was no
appreciation.
Yeah.
You know, it was disgusting. It was really, really, really disgusting. It was just crazy.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes into our show.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we're about 18 minutes into our show.
Let's go up for a moment and buzz around and see what's going on.
So, look at all that parking lot is absolutely full.
Nuts.
Jeez.
I'm so glad we're up here and not down there.
We closed the window.
Crazy.
Should we open the window again so you can hear the helicopter?
Well, let's just take a break for a moment and see what. So, what do you like about the holidays?
I like colors.
Okay.
I like the feeling. It reminds me of when my kids were young, and we would decorate the tree, and we would bake bread, and we would listen to George Winston, you know, like we would put incense. It was kind of like a tradition type of thing. And it was fun. It was really nice. But I like doing that no matter what.
Yeah.
And I love being with my family. To me, it was really just about being with family.
Yeah.
I did it was fun, not at first, because my late husband had this weird tradition that you wrap all the presents the night before.
Oh, that's a bitch.
Tell me about it. And I'm like, we're in the middle of the night, just trying to wrap all these presents while the kids are asleep, knowing they're going to get up in the next 3 hours. And of course, you put down the tape and then you can't find the tape. You put down the scissors.
But there's the wine bottle.
I wish I had the wine bottle, believe me. So that part, over time, I said, this doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this, you know. So we started wrapping presents as the weeks went on.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot. But they were mostly, like I said, coloring books and small little
creative
things.
Yeah.
And we would line the hallway with these little things. So when they woke up, they had these presents from their bedroom door all the way to the living room.
Oh, I love that.
With little tiny, nothing gifts.
Yeah,
and then they'd have their bigger gifts at the
Oh.
tree. So they were like, it was fun for them.
I love that.
Yeah.
My favorite was Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes.
Because when my abuelita, my grandmother, was still alive, she would make this soup. It's called potaje. It's the Spanish soup.
Yeah.
And it's like codfish and garbanzos, and it's in a broth, and it's a really pretty orange color. And it's really, and it was just the whole, tradition of it. And it would just be like my mom and dad and my brother and my sister-in-law and kids, not the whole huge family. And it was just really fun, and then we would open gifts,
like a gift the night before or whatever?
No, all of them the night,
really?
but there wasn't that many with my family. It wasn't like, not with my kids, but just,
Right.
And it's just kind of a Spanish thing. And it was just, my grandmother was so wonderful, and it was just really fun and cozy and stuff. And I actually liked that, better. And we would, I think we didn't start opening the gifts till almost midnight,
Oh,
it was just really, wake the kids up. Get out and rip that paper. But it was fun. I like that. And then my partner and I used to have a yearly, it was like the second week in December, we would have a holiday party for all our friends.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, before we moved here and had a bigger space. And that was really fun, because there's a lot of people who don't celebrate religious holidays, but you want to get everybody together and, and just, it was just fun. And we'd all just hang out and, the apartment would be so tight with people.
And make you have to talk to people.
It's
like, oh, who are you? I don't know, but.
No, I really enjoyed that. That was cool.
Yeah.
But, and then we would go to this, in the city that we lived in, they had a really huge solstice celebration
That's
that our
nice.
community did every
That's
year.
nice.
Huge. And that I kind of like that.
Well, in our
Better.
town here, we have a few people
I
that love to
know.
celebrate the solstice.
Yes.
And
I
in
can
the
think of
summer,
one in particular.
Yeah, you know who you are.
We love you.
Yes, very much. And it's really pretty cool. I'm going to have a dance party to celebrate winter into spring.
Oh, cool.
So-
and all you people listening are invited.
You know who you are.
We'll tell you the address later.
Sexy Saturday dance party's coming up.
We'll make it a holiday.
I'm going to need new carpet.
Do you go out for New Year's Eve, or had you in the past, or had that ever been part of your
You
thing?
know, I was never much of that. I tend to go upriver to my really wonderful friends, and I spend the night there, and we bake, and we play games, and if there's something good to drink or smoke.
Yeah, that's cool. I always think, I used to many years ago, go out on New Year's. I can't remember the last time. It's been quite a while since I've been out for New Year's Eve. Other than going out like for dinner and going to see a movie, but like to parties and stuff. And there's just the expectation.
Oh, it's
just
not fun.
And especially if you're single.
Well,
my God. And you have to kiss a frog at midnight or something, or a stranger you don't know.
No.
Ew.
I do not do that.
I know.
I like what you do for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. And it was really fun.
Was it?
Yeah. Our thing. Are
Who?
what? Won't say.
Yeah.
Are
No.
no.
Oh. We'll cut that part out, won't we? Don't say his name.
Oh no, I was gonna say
Oh,
our
okay.
our Thanksgiving tradition. No, I wasn't gonna say his name. I was gonna say George.
Jorge.
Right. Jesus. Our Thanksgiving tradition is my partner makes a vegan pumpkin pie, and
Wow.
almost pretty much we're getting there.
I made one, a vegan pumpkin pie.
His pies are so good, and a bottle of wine, and we just lay in bed all day and watch movies, and it was so fun.
What movies did you see?
I can't even, one science fiction and two goofies, kind of goofy ones.
How fun.
Yeah,
I
it
want
was
to do
really,
that.
really, really
I would get bed sore, so do you ever get
no,
up?
you have to get up and walk the dog and,
I'll be back.
move around
Yeah.
and, stuff like that. But
That's
no, you
fun.
don't. It is fun.
I would
It is.
love to do that.
Yeah.
That would be great. I don't want to do it by myself, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I will if I have to. But
Yeah. No, that started from years ago when we were both working a lot and we didn't want to. I mean, we'd get invited to friends' houses and we really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I work in the public. I just want to have a day away, especially if you work retail or something, away from holiday madness,
Yeah.
in your cave. And I think more people should do that, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe not lay in bed and drink wine and watch movies, but just kind of,
Hunker down a little bit.
Yeah, make your little nest all cozy and
I love those days. I mean, my favorite times are
on
when I get to just like stay in my pajamas and
Yeah.
maybe put on a good movie.
yeah.
And one day I'll get to eat popcorn again.
That would be good.
Yeah, popcorn, carrots, and apples. So we're really close to the end of our show. We only have a couple more minutes.
So we should tell people that you can get a hold of us.
Yeah.
You want to give them our
Yeah,
email?
we have an email address. It's Dirty Laundry, Chris and Karen, @gmail.com. Chris is with a C and Karen is with a K. And we are always hoping that you will write to us and let us know about some topic that you think we should discuss or something that you feel that you're pissed off at us that we said.
we like those.
Yeah, we're totally open to whatever somebody has to say, and we're also still going to do our sex show. We have to keep saying that. We're actually looking for somebody,
Yes.
an older gentleman,
Yes.
who we are not involved with, so you know who you might be.
If you remember. Sometimes it's hard to remember who you were involved with and who you
Oh
weren't.
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
him.
I know. I always thought I would always remember.
Oh man,
But it's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
better to forget some of them.
Yeah, it is. So,
All right,
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
this is us.
We're
and
going back up.
flying away. Have a great
Yeah.
holiday.
Have a wonderful time, and we hope to continue this. And we're not sure what our topic is next week, but it will be something interesting. And who knows, we might be on top of a Ferris wheel.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh my God, the spinner stopped.
Oh, we gotta go.
We're going.
Bye.